The theme of today's readings is expressed in the final words of the Gospel. The one that is not with me scatters, or whoever does not gather with me scatters. Similarly, in the first reading, the prophet Jeremiah makes very strong last statements about how God's people do not listen to His words, how God's people do not obey the covenant, do not follow the covenant. And what was the covenant? The covenant was, obey my voice, and I will be your God, and you shall be my people. Walk only in the way that I command you, so that it may be well with you. That was the covenant. But that is not what has happened. Says Jeremiah, in spite of so many messages, so many prophets that were sent to speak to the people, they did not obey or incline their ear, but in the stubbornness of their evil will, they followed their own plans. They walked in their own counsels and looked backward rather than looking forward. The Gospel similarly gives us an insight into the confrontation of Jesus with some Pharisees. We see what happens when people do not want to believe. There is nothing that will change their minds. They will refuse to acknowledge goodness staring them in the face. My brothers and sisters, this putting together in the gospel, this gospel reading and the one we read, like a lament of the prophet Jeremiah, is intended to help us take a closer look at ourselves. What we need to do is to ask how the words of Jeremiah apply to us. How carefully do we listen? How well do we carry out the will of God in our lives? How clearly can we discern the presence of God in our daily situations? What kind of influence or force are we in our communities? Our hope is that, unlike those in the gospel who have not put their faith in Jesus, through this Lenten season, we may become a force for greater unity and not for division. That way, we can become a house, a beautiful house that was also spoken of by Jesus. We become a house, a beautiful house, when we are united. And against that unity, against that beauty, the works of the devil could not prevail.